something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing contest, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squad as raw as trash can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Yo! Softball fam, good evening and welcome to episode 6 of the Glue Guys program. As always, leading us in this week and every week, BP Mercenary spikes up. Check it out on all your music apps and does that we call them apps? Spotify, Apple Music. I guess it's not even an app if you have Apple. It's just there.
Well, no, I mean you still got to call them digital distribution outlets.
Thank you.
Or,
that's the official
digital streaming platforms. There's a couple different
half
ways
a penny.
to say it. Yeah, half.
The guy right here,
half a
on
penny.
The pro,
Hold on, bro.
Direct beneficial. A quarter of a penny every time you go listen to that song on your preferred digital distribution network.
Try like a sixth of a penny per play. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I see. Congress is in no rush to rewrite that law. Let me tell you.
Of course not. Of course not. But
anyway, that's a whole nother program, different name, different subject matter. We could do that for years.
We can do that all. We can do this all day. You know, shout out to my man,
Pac, my fellow Philly brother. I love that John, and only he would really get that. Anyway,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pork roll. Pork roll's another one that makes people look at me weird. Pork roll and cheese, man. Knock it off. Anyway, moving on. We'll get in a scrapple next program. Welcome. Again, we're here every Wednesday night. But real quick, programming note. We're actually going to be on Tuesday next week to pick the teams for the pool play stuff for Winter National. So next Tuesday, I'm sure I'll do 14,000 posts and annoy you, but we'll make sure we get the word out. As always, you can catch us. Just go to glueguysprogram.com. We made it easy for you. You know, if you happen to watch us later, you're watching on replay, it's very easy. Just go to the website and boom, YouTube's right there for you. You don't even have to click anything for us old guys who still have flip phones, man. StarTAC all day. I'm telling you.
Wow, you took it back with the StarTAC, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of my first cell phones. Well, one of my first cell phones where I felt like I had a way in. Like I felt like I was something right there. Like
I wanted to try I want to use that thing as like a boomerang, like an Australian boomerang, because it didn't flip all the way flat. It had the little
I was gonna say it's always kind of at a like a almost like the Verizon logo. It was always a trip, dude.
I was so proud of myself. I never broke the plastic antenna off of that phone. Now other phones, yes. But I treated that one like it was gold because of how much. I think it was like $600 back then.
Oh yeah, it was
$500-$600.
It was a cool fortune during that.
Yeah, and then I had to drop like $200 because my credit was crap. Yeah, because I was a kid in college at the time. Yeah, but anyway, I would use that phone right now if I could. Would use it right now.
I can't say I agree. I know everybody wants to go back to simplicity, but I couldn't even function with a flip phone or anything like that at this point in life. I'm too used to being able to do everything on my phone. Like I could like even this show for that matter, right? In some cases when you're out and about, I could do the show on my phone. And I just wouldn't know how to function. Like, I mean, I would clearly, but it's just something I would prefer not to do. Let's put it that way.
No, I feel that. I'm just, I'm old, so old stuff. You drop one of your iPhones now and it's done. I dropped that StarTAC 70, 80 times and it was fine every time. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like the Nokias too. If you think about it, right? Nokia, you could throw a Nokia off a building. It'd hit the ground and you might have a little bit of a crack on like the corner, but that phone would function as if it never touched the ground or as if it were loved entirely and forever.
Yeah, look, man, nobody's beat me in Snake. Since you went okay, I had to put it out there. Nobody's beat me in Snake.
You got that. Snake's all you, bro. You got that one.
I know. Like, I'm gonna let you have proud it. Of. Yeah, you right? Have that title.
Let you have that.
You can give yourself that title all day long. Snake champion.
You know how that goes. You know how that goes. People get People get the
Ooh.
self applying.
We'll leave that one alone there.
Hey, before we jump off of that though, what wasn't there somebody in the NBA recently who everybody was kind of clowning because he gave himself the nickname? I can't remember it right now.
Oh, I don't.
But it was a
remember.
big topic about it. Yeah, it was a big topic for a minute. It was like, how do you give yourself a nickname? Or
wait,
how
weren't
do you,
they
know,
clowning? They were clowning him on TNT, I think, because they were breaking Shaq stones about it. Because Shaq's got 14 self-given nicknames,
but
and
his
then
are all
Shaq
funny.
turned around and went. He's like, I got rings though. So
Yeah.
your argument is invalid. I have rings.
But
He goes,
Shaq's
and he
nicknames
was
were all
kidding.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
like-
that's the thing. All of Shaq's self-made nicknames were funny, and you knew he was joking. You knew it was a ruse, right?
Right.
You didn't have for a second believe that he thought, yeah, this is my nickname. This is what it is. Like, recognize me. You knew he was being funny. But some of these other dudes, they believe in them. Wait, let me say that different. They believe in themselves, but they believe themselves. And
No, they turn right into the skid.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, they
right
believe
into
themselves.
it. Boom,
Yeah,
180,
they
right
do.
into the skid. Just own it. And hey,
Straight
look,
up.
if you can own it, I mean, it'll be obvious. I think you. I mean, I'm not opposed to you trying to give yourself a nickname, but you better be top 1%. They better give you a patch for what you
gotta
do
have
to
a
pull
reason.
that off.
Yeah, you gotta have a reason why we should call you that. Like, it
Yeah, like
can't
there-
be just because it's like. I mean, I guess it can be like, you know what? I hate my name, so we're not gonna use my name.
But that's
okay.
like if
See,
you
that's
replace,
different.
Yeah, if you squeeze something in between your legal first and last name, I
Yeah.
got a problem with that. This is
Yeah.
why guys weren't hanging out on Flatbush Avenue back in the day, giving them like they went out there to get someone to give them a nickname. They spent
Right.
weeks standing on the right street corner back in the 80s, waiting for the so-called elders or whoever was running that corner from a rap perspective
Right.
to give them the nickname.
Right.
You never hear rappers go, well, I just thought I should call myself Q-Tip or Quest. Like,
Hey,
Questlove
but you know
didn't
what?
come up
All
with
right.
that.
See, but sometimes I think
call
in
that dude
instance,
Amir and he turns around. Like, I'm
yeah, I
just
was gonna
saying.
say, but sometimes you do get. I mean, obviously, as most artists, because most artists aren't created, or their everything isn't created in the midst of the jungle, right? So they're out there, they're in their room like me, right? I mean, did nobody come up to me and go, "Hey, you're Blaze Rock, my guy"? Nah, that's not how it went down. I just was thinking of names, and I've been through a few names over the course of my time as an MC, and then I, one of them I put down, and I figured nobody else is gonna use it, and it stuck. Now I found, of course, at this point in life, some other jackass has it, but it doesn't matter. I was first. I got trade names and everything else in it, and all that good stuff.
So if we need a little bit of cash, I know a few attorneys.
Hey,
We got a cease and desist might be in order someday.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
It's all gravity, and if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think sometimes it's one thing when you give yourself a pseudonym. It's another thing when you start creating ways to call yourself things for the attention that it can bring. Like if I were to say that I'm the best rapper in Arizona or something like that, right? That's where it goes haywire, because then it starts being, well, why do you get that? You know what? But at the end of the day, somebody's going to do what they're going to do. Most people do it because they need friends or they're just unhappy with what they are. Or in my case, the real reason I didn't use my real name as my pseudonym is because I hate my first name. So I didn't want to hear people saying my name because, one, people usually screw it up. And two, I always feel like I'm in trouble when anybody says my actual name. So, nonetheless, let's get back on topic a little bit.
Yeah, no, I
here,
feel
right?
that. My mom got me over Christmas, broke out the middle name. I did the double head turn. Like what?
Like hey.
I saw PTSD signs of frying pans and spoons coming at me. Like my mom has broken wooden spoons over my head and other parts of my body. But again, I had it easy as an Italian coming up. We'll just leave it at that. Moving on, I don't know who's in chat. I'm looking though, but what call out situation are we talking about? Since somebody said they're talking to me.
Yeah, that's
that. What the
Taylor.
hell?
That's Taylor.
What does he want? Call out situation. What is he talking about now?
I can't.
Is he talking about the bad thing from last week? I don't even know.
I'm not really sure.
You should be in bed. Taylor, go to bed. You're drunk.
Wow.
Go to bed.
See, there's that. So we have a few things to talk about today.
Actually,
some pressing softball business today.
Well, speaking of Ted's, let's get his bill paid while I'm here.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, he has weird questions, and he's probably sleep deprived right now. But when he isn't sleep deprived, folks, pretty much every day around 2:00, he jumps on Facebook Gaming and puts on a very entertaining stream. Lately with Warzone, I know he's been itching to maybe get into Halo Infinite soon. So there's a couple different games he's looking at, but all the saucy snipes that your brain can handle. Tedit's on FB, on Twitter, also on Instagram. Apparently, he put a pretty sweaty pic up on Instagram, and the mods instantly attacked like a swarm of bees and humbled him quickly. So I'll leave that there. You can go investigate that further. As far as his call-out situation, I have no idea what he means, but I'm sure he'll come back if it was that important. It may have something to do with the me batting against him discussion that came up in last week's episode. You can go back and watch that at BlueGuysProgram.com, leads you to YouTube, which is up from last week. Yeah, probably. And I talked to him afterward, and it was like my second D tournament. Somebody got hurt, and I went in, and I think I was 0 for 3 against him. It's absolutely legit. I tried to get cute, and he owned me on a 5-man. Anyway, so go see my boy Ted. It's on Facebook, doing big things, Facebook Gaming. Partnered over there for a little over a year now. Doing really well. Also, our boy, well, I shouldn't say our boy, our friends, because it's more than one person.
Yes,
over at Czar Realty, doing big things, speaking of, in Phoenix real estate, man. I was joking with him, when's he going to take over Colorado and New Mexico? I didn't get a comment back yet. I'm awaiting. But I figure he's already got Arizona on lock, so what's the next state? Trying to get, that inside info, but no such luck. Because I personally think we should go and we should petition out Mickey on that, what's that real estate show? There's one in New York and then one in California that's on like a network I never watch, but it's a reality show about the realtors. Does anybody know that one?
Are you talking about the one? Well, not love it or list it.
$1 million listing. $1 million. That's it. Okay, we got to get Mickey on $1 million listing California.
Okay.
Or Hollywood or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's LA. Yeah. $1 million listing LA. I've caught 20 seconds of it or whatever. And yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. So please, if you're thinking of selling, you're looking to buy, geez, even rent, just give him a call, man. Even if just to get the information, he's got information going to get straight for you in this crazy real estate game. So go see our friends over at Czar Realty.
Yeah, not for nothing.
Real quick.
Not for nothing. I actually reached out to him myself to get some information, and Johnny on the spot, getting everything the way I like it, because I'm kind of impatient and I'm always doing something in between something else and multitasking. And I loved it because he was so quick about getting me the information in a fashion that didn't require me to stop doing everything else that I was doing. So yeah, 100%. He's not just a sponsor, but we actually appreciate.
We use him for information that we don't know about.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You got to use it. You can't know everything.
Well, we're going to get him on the show in the future. I've talked to him a couple times. We're just going to pick the right time because I want to have him on to talk softball because he's a very good softball player too. But I also want to touch on some real estate stuff that might be pertinent for everybody who watches. So we're still working that out. Yeah, Mick, I see that. And yeah, too white trash for that show. I don't know, man. We put a suit on you and clean you up. I think your wife would agree. And Mick, when are you going to give me the inside info that I want to talk about that you said I can't talk about? When are we going to release that? Because I need my exclusives here. I'm trying to compete. So hopefully he'll answer that in chat. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, that's that. Let's talk about Winter Nationals real quick.
Yeah, roll
grab
it
my
up.
phone because there's going to be some call-outs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling some suckers out right now.
Here we go.
I go to my team list. My noisy chair. I love this chair. Anyway, let's go to my list. Couple teams I got to call out that aren't registered yet. And, guys, you're going to miss the boat. Bob's texting me today, man. You got to get registered, guys. I said this last week. I can't stress this any more. All right, Saturday. All right, got it. I cannot stress enough that you need to go get your team registered and signed up. Nobody's calling me out. Knock it off, chat. Have you not know that I can handle this and keep doing what I'm doing? So the teams that I'm calling out right now, AAA. I know I've talked to Christian and Sean, but still stroking. You guys got to get registered, man. You got to get registered, guys. Get in there. Mr. Hermanos went today. Talked to Old Spice. They are working on it. I need you got to get in there, man. Let's see who else. Big Hawks. Haven't heard anything. Talked to Bo. He gave me a verbal commitment. Nothing yet. Not registered. Underdogs, you guys also gave me a verbal. Need you to get registered, guys, because you're going to show up last minute like you like to do, and there's not going to be any room for you to play. And I know you're not going to go up to Legacy just to watch games. You want to play, so you got to get in there. You got to get in there. So that, and then, guys, I'm going to remind you, player appeals. We actually had a team who was going to try to play for – they registered. I shouldn't say try to play. They registered as a AAA team 40s. After looking over their roster, they actually had a couple of A guys, which is a big no-no for U-Trip. We're dealing with rankings a little differently. Your U-Trip ranking does have an effect, guys, especially if you've played conference or A-ball. That stuff prevents you from playing anything but Major Plus. So here's where the player appeals are super important. Bob is working with that team. We're getting those rankings knocked down to where at least those guys can play majors and they're not stuck in a conference level. So Bob is working with National to get those players' appeals through to get them down on their U-Trip rankings so they can play 40 majors. But we still had to move the team up to a 40 major division. Obviously, if they have any trouble, we'll no problem moving them back down. But again, this is why rosters are important. It's not just about calling you out. You have legal players. Let's get them legal. We want everybody to be able to play.
That's right.
So it's very important you get with Bob. The appeals process is from the 1st, I think, to the 21st of January. You have to have them submitted. And if you don't, well, then you're SOL for the rest of the year. That's just how it goes. So get them in. Please, guys, get registered. We're pretty much sold out. Bob and I are already working on field assignments. We're trying to get that stuff ready. So next Tuesday, when I pull the teams out with the poker chip idea that Hesh gave me from Icon, we'll be all settled up. Also, guys, very important. You also have to have your $100 deposit in by next Tuesday. If I go to pick the teams and your team does not have a deposit down, don't be asking me in chat where your team is. They're not going to be in there, okay? They're not going to be in there. If you don't have a deposit, you're not going to be playing over the weekend. It's got to be in by Tuesday, okay? And, hey, we're trying to work with everybody. Everybody wants to play. I don't know about other sanctions and what they're doing, but rosters are important to me. What rankings we have right now are important to me, and hopefully this year I can figure something out to do actual senior individual PVRs. So for those not familiar with the PVR term, playing kids ball, that's your individual player ranking for U-Trip. So the hope is that we're going to have individual senior player rankings, which, that's right, I've done this once before. So plan on it happening this time.
I mean, at least I won't get turned down for appealing to go back to E, bro. That's all I'm talking about.
Bro, I was thinking about actually no cap. I'll use the kids' word.
No
cap. I was thinking about. I was talking to Bob and thinking about getting knocked down the E from D.
Hey, bro, I can tell you right now, they're gonna tell me, heck no, dude. Bob sees me.
Yes.
Bob sees me and instantly goes, nah. Rodney sees me and instantly goes, nah. I'm like, I'm gonna appeal, bro.
Bob's not your problem,
E, bro.
Rodney's
like,
your problem.
Rodney,
it's not Bob. It's Rod.
Dude,
it's Rodney.
Rodney will see me, dap me up, hug me. That's my man. And I'd be like, so you gonna, I put that appeal in, bro. What's up? He's like, you did? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, no. And I'm like,
no, that's wrong. That's like 76.
I'm like, have you seen me?
Dude?
I'm like, have you seen me play, bro?
He's
like,
George Jefferson,
no. He's like, no. No matter what, dude. No matter what I try, I'm like, look, dude. I'm fat. I'm old. I'm slow. You know what I'm saying? You've seen me play. You umpired me while you play, bro. He's like, no.
Look, all I do is send the X-ray of the hand, and I think I can get down to E. I think I can do it.
Well, hold on.
I think I can do it.
Hold on. Pause.
All right. Do you want to acknowledge this? I was going to let it go, but it's now on the screen.
I do, because I feel like it's going to be entertaining.
All right. So let me get the facts out. Okay.
Right,
first of all,
run it up.
To respond to the direct comment, it was not 75 E teams. It was 5 E teams at 38 years old was the exact quote that was said.
Hold on.
I just want to keep the facts out there. I don't want to get construed.
5 at
5.
Okay.
38 years old. That was the exact comment. Again,
but 5 at E. 5 at E.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to use somebody else's words. Like it's their fight.
But 5 E teams, that equals 75. Getting cut from 5, that equals 75. That I don't know. I'm just. I'm trying to translate.
5.
Yeah, I'm trying to translate. Calculate it out. Figure it out. Nah, I don't.
Who said it? I can do it.
No, I know who said it. You know. Who said
all right.
It.
Oh, I know. So somebody's starting trouble.
That's why I
Speaking of
said,
starting
let's talk
trouble,
about it, bro. That's what I'm doing.
I don't know where to take it because I'm in the middle of something that I didn't know I needed to be in the middle of with this.
Well, you know, sometimes it's worth. Sometimes it's
listen,
worth going there. You know what I mean?
all I'll
Especially
say
if we're
is-
talking about player appeals and
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is somebody called me out like that, I'd have to respond some way. I probably wouldn't do it on the show because I feel like you're not at that level. Whoever called me
Yeah.
out, I'd probably do it a personal on the side.
But see,
Maybe I
that's not-
insult on Twitter
that's
knowing
not
you're
how-
not there.
That's not how people do things around here.
No,
apparently, bro.
Wasn't me fake account. All right, here we go.
That's what, hey, but all I'm saying is that's people don't do that. They'll say it and they'll throw that stone and then them hands go, whoo, where'd it
Hey, but-
go?
But kudos. I'm not going to mention
To the
names
one
of
gentleman, to the one
person
gentleman?
who said that.
Yes, shouts.
I will say that if
Yeah.
he is not a guy who's going to run from it.
Oh no, not at all. I love it.
He
I
will
love
own
it.
that all
I
day
love it.
long and twice on Sunday. So
I love
in
it.
that regard, is RJ in here? Real quick. Low
Yeah,
show,
RJ's
appreciate
out
this.
there. What's up, my man?
I sent Gio a message, but I didn't send it to RJ, but it was for RJ also.
We gotta get.
We need a moment
yeah.
of silence. We need a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Gio and RJ have made the conscious decision
about Apple.
to become social justice warriors in this world.
Oh,
And we need a moment of silence for the mozzarella sticks that no longer exist at Applebee's.
fam.
And they will no longer be patronizing this place of business. And it's a sad day for those guys because they literally became friends at an Applebee's bar because they both didn't want to sit down and wait to eat and ordered mozzarella sticks together. They have been friends ever since.
That's dope. That's
now
dope.
the
Shout
mozzarella
out
sticks
to
are gone.
RJ. RJ's my guy, man. I love RJ, bro.
Beat me at golf too, you son of a bitch.
And I love that too. I gotta admit, I loved that. I loved it. I was like, yo,
I don't
even play well enough to to even pretend that I'm gonna beat somebody. Right? I play all the time, but I'm not good. However, hearing you say, yeah, I'm about to run it up on fools. And then get worked. That was entertaining. It was entertaining. I loved it.
Fair and square, I lost. I don't know what the hell we were doing with the settings. Like everybody was confused because everybody played on. So it took a little bit to get through it, and I hung in there. But he got out early, and then it was just didn't miss a putt the rest of the round. Going as Tiger Woods. And then I said to him, when we get out on a real course, and it's been radio silent since that comment.
Bro, look, bro,
you don't
there's no
want to
chance.
swing a real club.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. You'll
By
never
the way,
get me
real
on a
quick-
golf course. That's nonsense.
Well, let's go inside
Yeah.
the fourth wall, and I've tried to get you on one. All right.
Yeah,
So let's
you
go
saw how I
inside the
turned
fourth
that
wall.
shit.
We're gonna bring you behind the scenes here, behind the fourth wall.
All right.
I shoot like 85 to 90. If you can just hit the ball 100 yards, you could probably beat me. But I don't care because every time they beat me at something, I'm going to have something else to throw at them to challenge them with.
Yeah,
It's the key to
That's
good
true.
shit talk.
That's true.
Never give
That's true.
up.
That's
Never
true.
give in. Oh, wait. Is that a bad 80s fight movie?
Never give up. Never give in.
surrender. What? Oh, I-
Honestly, that sounds like every political ad that's out here right now, bro. Like I feel like I
it's
drove
like
by that right lately. or
every
something.
blood sport wannabe
Yes,
in the
they- yeah.
that they had the coach who got all serious toward the pivotal moment in the movie and like never surrender, holding them up like
Yeah.
you got to man up. What are you
Yeah.
doing? And
It's
you
all. It's
paraphrase
always
that.
serious. Dude. It's always
Yeah.
serious. It's
The
always
only movie
serious.
that didn't do that was Better Off Dead, and yet $2 guy never got his $2. I just want that on the record. There's a lot of cool things that happened. He got the car. He got the French chick. He beat Roy Stalin. All that happened, but nobody talks about the paper boy. He never got his $2. Did he get fired? Did someone come get him on that hill? I mean, I could do a whole show about Better Off Dead.
Wow.
Just saying.
Wow. So here's one thing. Let's segue a little bit over back into our actual softball issues, especially with the with Winter Nationals coming up, right? And I know that there's a lot of people, at least on the senior side, that are looking for they want more prizes. They want things that are other than T-shirts. And you know me, you know how I feel about that. I've made it clear. I'm not. Look, let me say this real quick, right? I am not in any official capacity with UTRIP whatsoever. I'm just a co-host here on this show. So that allows me to bring in my tomfoolery, shenanigans, and BS when I say we need some. I told you we need plaques, bro. It's plaque life out here, and I ain't talking about teeth, plaques. And then now this part I think we've talked about, and we
Tell me, P. Diddy. Tell me all about it, P. Diddy.
all right. Listen. I'm not gonna have nobody go get. I'm not gonna have nobody get no cheesecake. But what I am gonna say is here, at least on the Glue Guys program, we are in fact going to be doing some awards, We're going to be, and not just the funny ones that we were talking about, like the Tyron Woodley Frozen award. No, not just that, but we want to do something that's kind of like mid-year awards of, performances based on, the stats and data that we get from coaches and also obviously from the people who simply see what's going on. Whoever just responded and said plaques, get the fuck out of here. Understand that I'm entirely joking when I'm talking about plaques. If anyone on this show or listening to the show doesn't understand that I'm kidding when I'm talking about plaques, I'm saying that now. We're not really going to do plaques. Plaques are weird. But that's what made it funny when we first said it a couple episodes ago. But what we really are going to do is we definitely want to do some awards, within the show. We want to make sure that people are getting some attention for their performances and for playing. And at the same time, we don't want it to turn into a circle jerk of people who just happen to be friends with someone else or something like that. So it's going to be data and statistically driven. Right. So all you coaches out there, it's going to be imperative that you get your stats and your and everything over to us. If you'd like to be considered for some of those. So it'll be fun, you know what I mean? And then, obviously we have the Streamer of the Year award. You're gonna tag Teddits on that immediately as a part of the sponsorship. I wasn't letting that fly, bro.
I made it 5 episodes. I can't do it anymore. I needed names now. Like RJ, absolutely. We are gonna run that back because I gotta get this L off of my forehead.
Go get it.
We gotta even that up. That's first of all. As far as my boy Teddits goes, saying he sucks at softball. But I will absolutely get you a Streamer of the Year plaque. For an update, I decided that we're going to do – our awards are going to be acrylic. I got a good deal. I talked to John over at Marty's. All right, we're going to use Marty's trophies because everybody should. They paid me nothing. And I'm telling you, if you need any kind of award, not just a trophy, award. And guess what else they do? They do bat shelves too. Amazing bat shelves over at Marty's Trophy. That's right. John plays for Bandits. They didn't give me any money. They don't have to give me any money. They've given me great business. Not that I'm patting myself on the head, but they're doing the other sanctions trophies for a reason. And I was the one who figured that out.
Hold on. What are you, a dog? Wait, what are you, a dog? I'm like, patting myself on the head. What are you, a dog? Bro? That's what I do with my dogs. Cut it out.
I can do 2 things at once.
All right.
So they're going to be doing acrylic plaques for me for U-Trip tourney seniors. We're doing tournament all tourney MVP acrylic plaques.
Yeah.
So all tourney will be picked based on performance.
Yeah.
Talk to the umps. Ronnie and I will get together, and we're going to add that in. So I heard. I don't know who didn't like the plaque. In fact,
I know. I mean, look, dude. Look, I don't know. Somebody said that. It's.
No, I'm going back. I'm going back.
Yeah, I'm over there too. Yeah, I saw it and then it like disappeared.
Oh, that's on the somebody on the senior one. It's not the kids one.
Yeah,
it's not the kids.
See the kid, but that's because the young folks know what's up. Ain't nothing like having a plaque, bro. You put a plaque on the wall. Anybody walks in your room, you go, look, this is what I did on a Saturday. I did work. Like I was out there. I did work. The rest of the individuals involved, they didn't do what I did. I did work.
They can make jokes, but they want that.
You know what I'm saying?
They can make all the jokes they want, but deep down, you all know.
Everybody wants a plaque, bro.
You want that all tourney MVP plaque.
Everybody wants a plaque because then they'll take a picture of it. They're going to sit it right above their stomach, right? So that you see just a little bit of boob, just a little cleavage. They'll sit it there, and then they'll try to look like they're unbothered completely. And it's like, nah, bro, you was searching for that. You was making sure, hey, coach, that was a hit, right? You like, hey, nah, that wasn't no error, bro. We doing on base percentage, or we doing batting average? He's like, yo, how we doing this, bro? That's what I'm saying. He's like, look, every ball he puts in play, it can be 2 runners on. He's like, and they like, hey, bro, we need you to send it. He's like,
but I'm hitting 800.
My average, bro. My average right now. The way my average looks right now. You know what I mean? Nah, I think it'll be fun, dude. I think it'll be fun if we had some trophies to go with the plaques.
Is that how they picked the Challenge Cup team? That sounds like something they would use for the Challenge Cup team.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Who said that? That's on the senior board.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's Mickey's R.
Patches.
I'm not mad at that.
Yo, look, I had a Kiss patch in 1989 that I put on a jean jacket. Those days are long gone.
Son, okay, so look, the NBA right now does that for the All-Star game and whatnot. All of their, they have their shooting jackets on or whatever, and they have all of their accomplishments in patches basically up the sleeve and whatnot. And some of these dudes have so many accomplishments that it's crazy. It's like a whole, it's everywhere, right? I think that patches would be kind of dope, but my only problem is you got to come up with something that's a little more uniform in order to store the patches after they've been won, right? So that way everybody can kind of show up like, yeah, you see it. I don't know how you would do that, but that's a thought. That's an interesting thought. But I still think plaques are awesome, dude. Plaques are awesome. Medals are awesome. Look, I run 5Ks, and you know, half of it's running, half of it's walking, whatever. And the medals are a lot of time the whole reason I go. Like, I probably wouldn't even get out the house on those days, and I'll be like, nah, I want my medal, fool.
But Mickey will get this one. The one I thought about doing, is chips. I have a thing with chips. Now, if you get a cool chip, you know what I mean?
Nah, man.
It's the same as a medal.
Nah, man. Medals are better because you got you can display a medal. Look, there's so many ways with a medal you can look just dope, right?
All right,
can't do that with it. Yeah, look, bro, okay. You just pull it up like sup. You know what I'm saying? You got all these awesome because we're trying to do pictures, right? This is a visual society right now. Social media, everything. U-Trip, you name it. Everybody, us right now. We're on social media and it's visual. We want a visual, and so I can't wait to see some old guys pull up a medal. You know what I'm saying? Pull up the shirt, flex with the medal. That's heavy, bro. That man. So whoever said medals, if we do those medals, man, I owe you a drink or something. I don't know what, because you know I'm poor, so I ain't gonna act too crazy. But look, man, that's gonna be that'd be actually dope. The medals are dope. I'm here for medals. I'm here for plaques and I'm here for medals, bro. Plaques and medals all day. If I get both, dude, don't let me get both plaques and medals. Oh man, y'all seeing all kinds of titties right here, bro. Straight up, all day.
I like it. I am not picking plaque winners, especially not on this show. If I'm going to do it at all, it'll be next show because I have to actually give it some thought. But while I'm speaking of people winning things, I just want to remind everybody, Eagles won again this week, folks. They win the last 2 games. They're in control of their own destiny. We can actually make the playoffs with this dumpster fire team. So I'm going to support now. I pulled out my Super Bowl champion hat. I know you Cowboys fan haven't seen one of these since 1995, 96. Been a couple years. You've actually been born, and you haven't seen one in your lifetime, some of you Cowboys fans. So I just want to remind you, we still got a good shot making the playoffs, upsetting you punks. All right, and my fantasy football team in the final. So, Teddits, that's my mic drop on you. You couldn't even make it to the final against me. You're now playing for third place. Best of luck.
I agree with this. I agree with the sentiment that's currently on the screen. That said, let's hop back in our in our designated.
And how do I give that away? Since you're so smart, it's an amazing prize. How do you split that 13 ways, bud?
I mean, well,
I'm waiting. I mean, we'll hold the whole show up because this
better
be good.
Hold on, bro. We ain't gotta wait. We gotta split that. That's an easy split. Yeah. So moving on. Moving on. Oh, man, moving on.
I don't need to explain it. Let's go. All right.
Man, that's real. That's real. Over. That's real. They get paid by the hour. Hey,
can't beat that.
That's what I said. We don't need to
they
do
that. They do. All right, so I'm hoping it's one of his players, but Lokai has not gotten registered for 2022 yet in 50s. I know that they were trying to play Winter National. So, Don, get on it, brother. Call me if you need help or anything. Let's get you guys in there. So, I don't mind calling out teams trying to get them to play in a tournament. That'll never bother me. But I mean, I think we're 22 AAA teams, 8 majors right now. So, we got divisions. And in 50s, I think it's 6 or 7. Pretty sure it's 7. So, if we can get Don in, that'll make it even 8, and we can go. So moving on, because we're only on for a certain amount of time. I could sit here and talk about RJ and golf and mozzarella sticks all night long. We're going to lose all 5 viewers.
Right.
So moving on, a lot of chatter about the Challenge Cup this week. We, in a couple different areas, couple different people. We touched on one earlier. Every year, whoever gets picked to run these teams gets crapped on, and somebody said, "Oh, well, they're not qualified, or they took the wrong guys." And instead of pointing out individuals and how these teams are picked, I want solutions. Everybody cries, this guy should have went, that guy should have went, I should have went, you should have went. We should have got that guy who played over and blah, blah. Let's stop worrying about what's already happened, and let's turn our focus 2, how do we pick them? How can we improve the process? I'm considering going next year, not as a player, as one of the coaching staff, being the director to go support your state's teams. That's my thought in it. Not even, playing. They don't have a single A division. I'm trying to get it so I can be a star, but it's not looking good. National is not receptive to my proposal. That was a joke. Haha. So what's the better process? I mean, we got people watching right now.
What's the better process?
What's the better process? Because everybody's got a problem with the way it's set up. Then give me solutions.
Hey,
Don't give me excuses. Give me solutions.
If I can add, no matter what, it's going to be wrong. And I'm not necessarily trying to be too passive aggressive when I say that. No matter what, it's going to be wrong. Because what it really demonstrates a lot of the time when you hear a lot of those complaints, you're not really hearing complaints that the person who's been chosen is bad or isn't necessarily good enough. What you're hearing is a thinly veiled. You're hearing. Well, yeah, but you're hearing largely a thinly veiled excuse of it should have been me or my choice should have been there, rather than, because what you're trying to say, or what they're often trying to say, is, well, I don't think such and such should have went. But you're not really saying it because you think such and such is trash. You're really saying it because you wanted your way. I find it hard to believe that there's a better way to pick the Challenge Cup. Because at the end of the day, you're doing it like every sport has done all-star teams since the beginning of time that don't have fans, right? You can do fan voting, and then that turns into a cluster F.
Yeah,
right?
that's a mess,
right? So ultimately, even think about the MLB outside of the starters, and the same with NBA outside of the starters. You go to the establishment, you go to the coaches, you go to the people who are in the business, who work and see these players and are somewhat objective or are able to be objective. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that the teams that are being picked incorrectly or being picked unfairly. I think everything is fairly objective and subjective, because no matter what, you're talking about people. And people are going to choose who they're familiar with or who they're friends with. And there's someone on the chat right now. Drew, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, CCS, I'm going to actually put it up on the stream.
Put that up.
Yeah. He says it's CC has now become buddy ball. And CC being Challenge Cup for anyone listening. CC doesn't represent us, doesn't care about our teams, all complaints. And honestly, everything you just said is what happens here in Arizona as well. And I go back to the same point. In a lot of cases, it's not actually about the players that are chosen. It's often really just a matter of, I didn't get my way, or I didn't get who I thought, or my friend, or my teammate, or whatever. And I just think that I don't think that really is beneficial to anybody. I don't think that in and of itself becomes a problem. I think what the problem becomes is if we start seeing teams, the CC teams being put together that are egregiously bad, right? We're seeing a whole bunch of homie hookup type of things. And I think if you look at a team and you have, say, 15 players, you're going to get 2 that may have just eked over the threshold because of their relationships. Yeah. And that's normal. And I think anyone who's pretending otherwise is lying to themselves.
No, a manager's always going to go with a player he's familiar with, especially if he can't. Now, they have the rule you can only take, I think, 3 from one team. Correct. But a manager, if you've played with somebody previous, I would expect them to grab a guy they're more familiar with or have coached and know the attitude. Because the thing nobody wants to talk about, I think I've only seen Gio actually say it as a coach of a Challenge Cup team.
Right.
Where Gio turned around and basically owned what he was doing, said, look, for better or worse, this is what I'm doing. I don't owe anybody an explanation. I was put in charge to try to take the best team I could.
Yeah.
And what he said was, I'm not trying to get all the best home run hitters. I'm trying to find guys for different roles on this team, and one of the big considerations for me is attitude. I'm going to be in Florida. Who's going to give me a problem? Who can't, why would I bring a guy who I'm not sure is even going to come home at a reasonable hour the night before a game and not know what kind of shape he's going to show up in? Because, look, you guys can talk all the crap you want about, I'm professional. We've seen it in Vegas every single year. Agreed. Every single year, regardless of whether you're a senior, a kid, women's, co-ed, military, sober, I can go on, all of yous, and yes, I said sober too, show up the next day whacked on something and not ready to play. And go, oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Yes, it will happen again because you put your partying above the team. Now, I don't
Absolutely.
care. You can't sell it to me any other way.
No,
So
I agree.
Kudos
I agree
to
with that.
Gio for owning it, and I think I even messaged him and said that was exactly what needed to be said. You know, everybody's got to wake up. Not everybody
I
can
agree.
go. First of all,
I agree.
not everybody wants to go because I don't like the coach. I don't like that guy you took. I don't. Right there, I don't want you on the team anyway. So thanks for making it easy on me. You know, it's like trying to build a C team or a B team, and everybody thinks you got to get the recognized names of guys who have done it. No, give me the hungry E&D guys who will make mistakes but will not make the same one twice.
All right, but I'm going to push back just a little bit on that because what often happens, and I think someone else in one of the chats actually mentioned something to that effect. No matter what, you have a limited number of people, and a limited number of slots, right? And so you can't necessarily go and pick everybody and everything. But the other thing, and this is something that I make clear to anybody who will listen about softball in general. If you're not out there all the time shaking hands and, well, I won't say kissing babies, but if you're not out there shaking hands and you're not seen, or more importantly, your team isn't making it past, the second round, you're not going to get the consideration that you may very well deserve, right?
Absolutely.
You could be an absolute monster, but if you're up out of there by 12, no one knows, and they're not going to look for you like that unless you've done, all the handshaking and everything. And it's politics, right? If you haven't done those politics, if you haven't shaken the right hands, if you haven't greased the right wheels, and your team sucks or you guys are consistently losing, you're not going to get the look that you think you want to. But at the end of the day, I think everyone has to start acknowledging this isn't, and I mean specifically with the Challenge Cup, and you could take it to every aspect of softball in general, but specifically for the Challenge Cup, right? Let's stop pretending like it's all about the player on the field and their performance. That's bullcrap. We all know it. We all know it. We all like to pretend otherwise. At the end of the day, it's who you know, who you're homies with, who you cracked a beer open with at 3:00 on a Saturday during the tournament, or after your team got shellacked, who you went up and got a michelada with at Victory or something like that, and how you can turn that into a BP session or 5 or 10, or how you can start pushing, that's what it is. It's politics. I'm still of the belief that at least with some of these coaches, some of them are crazy, but at least with some of these coaches, you can at least say, okay, this guy picked players that he either knew about or just knew was a solid player. I find it hard to say that if we went through each of the Challenge Cup teams from Arizona, I find it hard to believe we would have more than one player across all of those teams that just out and out shouldn't be there. And my point in saying that is, at the end of the day, it's all objective and subjective, and it's a bunch of BS when people start complaining about it, because if you played at all, if you played one tournament, you know how things work. And it's just nonsense. At the end of the day, I keep saying this every episode, and when we talk about the Challenge Cup, I am rooting for every team from Arizona. I want every team from Arizona to go out there and dog walk anybody who walks on the field with them. That's all I want. Now, when they come back, if they've performed like trash, understand, I will say, you're trash, or you played like trash. Not you are trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because I hate to say it like you are trash, because clearly you're not. You were there, right? Because I'm not there. I suck. So my point is, I still think we can't get to the point where we start acting like the CC Cup team or the Challenge Cup teams are above reproach. Like, we can't make comments about it. Like, we can't say, "Oh, you guys blew it down there. You suck." I don't like the idea that we can't do that, but I don't want to get into the idea that just because I didn't get the people that I wanted to be there, that the team is just trash and it's all favoritism and all this other.
Yeah,
lame.
no,
That's lame. That's lame. That's lame.
And Drew, I don't know how much Pino and Corey paid you, but God bless you. They are two guys.
Those are good.
Have
Those are good folks.
Knowledge.
Good peoples, bro. Good peoples, man.
Pino, listen, there's a lot of people I'm friends with, but there's only a couple that I put on a list of I'm in trouble and I need somebody to take a whooping with me. And Pino's on that list because he at least evens the odds.
Yeah, good dude.
So,
That's a good dude.
But anyway, the only solution I have to offer tonight that I've proposed, and I hope we can figure out a way to do it, is The only one that I think I can fix right this second is when we name the managers of the Challenge Cup. And what the problem that it's going to take care of is twofold. Number one, if they know in February that they're going to be coaching this team, they can watch more events and be more on top of the different players. Number two, it allows these teams to get a jump on fundraising. So hopefully we can eliminate a lot of the issues of guys who just, December, January travel is tough for anybody.
Absolutely.
And a lot of guys, lost work this year and just things, you just can't afford a trip to Florida right after Christmas. It just, even for people doing fairly well, it's tough. So
no, it's tough no matter what. That's
so if
expensive.
we name the managers, at least senior wise, I can't speak for the kids, but at least senior wise, if we can name the managers in February, that'll give them a head start on the fundraising. That way they don't have to have this mad rush in November and December of all these different raffles or Super Bowl squares or however, prize packs. Everybody and their mother comes out in November, December and drops 17 GoFundMes basically.
Yeah.
It's tough to 20 here, 50 there.
Like support. It's tough to support.
So
but it's also tough to keep track of. Man, because if you're not friends with the right guy of the right out of that group, you never see it.
That's true.
That's tough. It's tough.
But I mean, you try. The best you could do is name somebody you trust to coach a team and do your best to stay in the as a director. Stay in the process. If something is egregious, then you can get involved. But for the most part, you hang back and you support who you picked and say, I picked him for a reason. Sit back, let it play out. And if you name him in February, it's a lot less hassle and noise. Like I said, it's all very consolidated into like October, November, December. So the chatter's louder because they know they only got a couple months to make fun of somebody because they didn't get picked or whatever. Didn't want the manager, don't feel the other guy deserves it, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on. And there have been a couple people who've been very vocal about that. At the end of the day, you can only do what Gio did. Here's the team I picked. Here's why I picked them. And we're going to go to Florida and do our best. And that's it. I just don't talk about it anymore until
I'm going to say to me personally, I don't like the idea of managers having out their business, number one, to the consumer base. The entrepreneur in me can't shake that part or saying it that way. I don't like the idea of feeling like you owe any Tom, Dick, and Harry in softball an explanation of why you chose to do what you're doing. You are the leader. You are the manager of that particular team for that period of time. The only thing I want to hear out of you is convincing me that this team is dope. I'm not saying you have to convince me in the sense that you have to go overboard in making me, come to your side on it. No, I don't care about that. What I care about is that your messages, your first announcement should be not there's haters or not, other people think this, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that at all. What I want to hear is this dude right here, this shortstop that we picked up, he's on the Challenge Cup. He's dope. This is why. This is why he's dope, and this is why he's going to represent Arizona, fantastically. Or this is why our team is going to represent Arizona fantastically. That's all I want to hear from literally anybody on those teams. I don't want to hear about all the politics and crap. I don't want to hear about the girl side drama. I don't care. All I want to hear is that we're going to do great. And then when you don't do great, I want you to say we didn't do great. That honesty is important, and I think that honesty starts to dissipate some of that backbiting and crybabying that some of these other folks who didn't make it do. When you start just, again, presenting it as, I chose this guy because he's dope. I chose this guy because he's awesome. I chose this guy because he can do this, that, and the other. I chose this guy, even if it's one of the guys that you choose simply because you know their attitude, then you say that. And you own it, because here's the thing. Not only are you positively reinforcing your team, you're positively reinforcing your role as the manager, but you're also dispelling all that foolishness that everybody spends way too much time talking about.
Yeah, it's sticking with the positive. I agree 1,000%. And there's so much negativity that we gotta, I guess, as ambassadors, better for lack of a better word, just continue to push positive.
Right. Absolutely.
It's the only way we're going to battle the negative. We're going to make jokes and have fun, but at the end of the day, we're on here every week. Wednesdays at 6, unless we got a tournament that week, then it'll be Tuesdays, and that also answers your question, Taylor. I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't need to call Eric Torres. He's kicking ass in Texas. Let him do his thing in Texas. That's got to be Leroy, by the way, even though I can't say the name.
It's Lou Kincaid.
Oh, okay. Lou's up in college. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Listen, Lou, Torres doing a great job, but he's doing his own thing, and I'm going to do my own thing. And we're going to talk. I've already talked to Torres a couple of times about a couple ideas. As far as how many teams are sending to Florida, I got to be honest. I don't know. I can tell you senior-wise, we have a 50s, 40s AAA, and a 40s major team all going. I know that there's 2 D teams going. I think there's 2 E teams. Like beyond that, I can't help you. I think there's only 1 C team. But anyway, it is what it is. Look, Torres is killing it, SOG down to Texas. Killing it. And I'm really excited end of the year in November that we have Worlds in Texas. It's close enough where nobody's got any excuses. Florida, I didn't want to go to Florida. I can understand that. We just don't do well there between turf and weather. Guys, hopefully Legacy Turf helps us be better prepared. But going to Texas, that's worth going. Yeah, I am not sure about the ladies. I got to be honest. I think one's going. I just don't know.
But we'll find out
how they got it. Yeah, I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I should be on top of that. But yeah, listen, it's hard. But man, we got it closer to Texas. You think I'm not pushing to try to get in Arizona? If you goddamn right I am. We'll see what I can pull off. I mean, but it's an impossible feat. And I think, I'm working on maybe getting them listed earlier. And RJ, I saw you say earlier that, we can't, it's tough to decide who's worthy of coaching 2 months into the season. But if we start it now, we take a hit the first year. But if it's on the previous year's results and how somebody did, once you start the process in, say, February, you take the hit initially. But as you go on, it's just the year before. So that'll work itself out. I just feel like if we're talking about the most deserving players going, we need to take out all the factors that could stop them from going if we have that ability. By starting fundraising early and naming coaches early, you help guys that maybe can't afford it with 8 months of fundraising instead of 2 blitzed. And then the smarter coaches for whichever division you run are going to make the most money, and guys aren't going to need to pay to go to Florida.
I think the only way I would push back would be I think February early in the year is way too soon. I think because then that starts making you wonder what are the criteria for the managers that are being chosen, right? And then my next question would be, well, if you're even in consideration for being a Challenge Cup team manager, there's an assumption that you have an understanding of what the players that are around, and that you're watching players and you're looking to upgrade your team. I mean, let's be honest, right? Everybody's out there looking at everybody they possibly can to pull somebody if they need to. The teams that are winning have coaches who do that. The teams that are not do not, and I'm one of them. I don't fucking care. So my point is, if you're gonna be there, right? And the types of coaches or the types of teams that typically the directors pick the Challenge Cup teams from, those guys are watching all year, and they're going to do that no matter what. Now, what I will say, which I agree with you as far as the fundraising part, I believe, if you assign those coaches mid-year, they have enough time to start, promoting and doing what they can to create some money. I just think February is a little early. And if you think about it, there's a lot of teams that aren't even constituted. But if you think about it, a lot of time teams aren't even constituted in February.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of those teams don't even exist. Or that the first iteration of that team exists, and then by June it's a whole different squad or something like that. And it may be still the same coach, and he may have moved to another team. And so I think if anything, going later in the year, maybe not June, July, because we know that's when everything gets cracking around here. Maybe it's somewhere around May, April, late April, May, or something like that. But I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there. It's not set in stone. It's not something that's happening. Again, I'm looking for solutions. So I'm asking everybody, instead of just crapping on everything, stop for a second, think about it, and give me a solution. Give me something I can use to make it better.
Absolutely.
Because it's not perfect. We all agree on that.
Absolutely.
We can't control what other states do. All I can control is what's in front of me, and that's Arizona seniors. And obviously, I'm rooting for the kids just because I want to see them do well from our state, repping the name.
Absolutely.
It's not just the seniors. But I'm trying to find solutions instead of the same frigging conversation every year about that guy don't deserve it, that guy shouldn't coach us. Why am I giving them money for their fund rate? Like I'm just tired of the negative, man. So let's try to be proactive. Let's be positive. to see
I
if
agree.
there's something we can do instead of waiting for somebody to fix it, which is what often happens.
Most
Because it's easier to
times.
sit on your couch and run your mouth and get off it and fix the problem.
Right.
Let's do it then, and just kind of put the negative aside and say we're trying to move forward. So just doing it earlier, I guess, is the main. It doesn't have to be February. I was throwing that out, but
Yeah. No, I
I'm
understood
looking for
that. I understood what
solutions.
you meant. I just wanted to make sure that we at least had
Yeah.
that conversation because people are going to take pieces of it and they're going to think about it. And hopefully, with those ideas and options, they'll be able to come up with some solutions and some things that maybe we can incorporate. The other thing is, people got to keep in mind that every aspect of every idea doesn't have to be used in order to create a good idea. I mean, it very well can be pieces of a ton of different ideas, a ton of different options until you're able to find the right solution or the solution that works the best. At the same time, I'm going to be negative Nancy, and I'm going to say no matter what solution you come up with, there's going to be a bunch of people in the background bitching and complaining and whining and creating conspiracies as to why their favorite player didn't play or why they didn't make the team.
Yeah,
At the
I'm
end
not
of the
worried
day,
about
that's
them.
stupid. Nobody cares about them.
I
But
am not, dude. I am not worried about that. I'm not worried about them. All they're going to do is drag it down or slow it down. I got no time for it. So get them off the bus.
agreed.
Lighten up the
agreed.
weight. We'll roll with less gas and get better gas mileage. I mean, it's just, I'm done. I've
Hey, so-
tried. I'll entertain any idea because I want to improve it. I'm just trying to improve it, same as I'd try to improve local tournaments.
Yes.
Taking the input in and making corrections. I hope, based on my previous experience, that I've proven I will listen and try to fix something that's wrong. I saw somebody bring up maybe a voting thing. I got to be honest, Drew. I don't think we could ever organize it well enough to where it would be representative of how the community as a whole feels.
And
People
even
will
if you
not
did, you'd have to
participate unless
eliminate,
it's
yeah.
super. Yeah.
But even then, you'd
People-
have to eliminate some of the outliers. You'd have to basically get it down to a certain small list of people, which then creates the same issue that we're talking about already, where they say, "Well, it's favoritism. It was you chose this." So you're right back in the same position. You haven't actually benefited anything. If anything, you've done more work to get back to the same position. But we're running very, very close to time. We don't want to overdo it today because this is. We like to
big
keep
deal.
it short and compact, but at the same time, we want you to be able to take away something that we talked about and at least, think about it or talk about it with your friends or whatever. And hopefully as tournaments start soon, you'll have more information, more things that we can talk about more often, and more importantly, things that you'll be able to take otherwise. I did want to point out before we break off into our brought to yous, Taylor said something, and I'm usually the other guy here.
Okay, hold on. Let me just move this mic out of the way. By the way,
So-
Drew, thank you. I will catch you out at the Southwest Invite. I saw your comment. But
Absolutely.
take it away,
Yeah,
Blaze Rock.
I don't know why that happened. I will say, because I don't believe in offering free anything to anyone who doesn't deserve it. But the Glue Guys program is Wednesdays at 6 p.m. every week, all the weeks. We've been here 5 weeks. All 5 weeks it's been 6 p.m.
Except tournament weeks will be on
except
Tuesday.
tournament weeks. Tournament weeks will be moving to Tuesday so that we can accommodate the brackets, so we have some discussion and whatnot regarding the tournament itself and the brackets. But I don't like that idea. I don't like doing that, and I don't want to pretend like that wasn't purposeful. But it's all good, nonetheless. Today's show, the Glue Guys program, episode 5, was brought to you by the letters L and S, and they're not in fact brought. My initial thought was the double entendre there. Don't ask me how. No, originally I was going to be purchasing a new senior bat and actually a new U-Trip bat too, from the mighty Louisville Slugger.
Yeah. Wait. Let me switch over to the senior board broadcast because we know.
No, I
who's
was gonna.
chime in
Yeah,
here.
I was gonna say because I was gonna actually share the
That's fine.
screen.
The senior.
I was
yeah.
gonna share the screen as I made the choice, as I made my purchase, as I put in my DT34.
All right, there we go. Yeah, now I'm in the
as a
senior one.
coupon
Speaking of, he
code,
made the last
right.
comment.
Yeah, see what's up. That's what's up. Yeah,
I don't know the
just-
Congresswoman Dave, so I don't know if I can make that happen. But the
Hey,
government
man.
thing is not a bad idea. It's just knowing the right people. Speaking of
Yeah.
politics, we talk about politics or Challenge Cup, like real politics in politics to try to get that money out
good
of
money.
there.
Yeah.
I have done contracts and grants for infrastructure money, and it's
no
literally
joke.
harder than any calculus class I ever took in college. That the
it's-
forms and whatnot is crazy. But anyway, moving
It's
on.
no joke. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated. I will say before we sign off, this is me personally. I'm a little frustrated because I waited much too long to try to get a Genesis 2-piece balanced. I personally prefer balanced bats. I love a good balanced bat, but swinging a 26 balanced is gonna be new for me.
What about a mid load though?
Yo, but I'm getting the cuz. Look,
mid-load?
so I'm getting the cuz, but I'm getting the cuz as a 27, right? I need.
You better make Dave work for it then. Don't just hit. Don't hit buy. He's in here.
No.
Make him work for that sale.
Nah,
Come
man.
on.
Look, man. I'm too lazy for that. I just wanna look. I just wanna hit the button and go. Yeah, it's coming in a couple days, and then my
color
top app will go crazy.
All right, cool. I'll order it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that looks nice. That's what I'm talking about. The weight. That's what I'm talking about. No, I had a great time swinging with Dave. It was one of my first times swinging BP with Dave not too long ago. Got the opportunity to swing the Richest Superior and the Senior Slugger, and both were great bats. Great bats. I've always been a fan of Louisville Slugger, and I've always been pretty much all the time. I think I almost always have at least one Slugger in my bag for the last 10 years or whatever. So yeah, we won't be able to share it. We won't be able to share. Look, man, and I'm gonna say this because I've swung a few protons. I am gonna say unhappy or happy to say that I broke two. They were not mine, but whatever. Those are great bats. I don't want to sound anything like like they're negative or anything. It's all choice. They're great bats. They are hometown company, obviously. So by all means, support Proton. Personally, I'm just, there's just a familiarity with Slugger, and so you can't go wrong with Slugger. You obviously can't go wrong with Proton. At the same time, I swing a lot of Easton too, and I swear by it. So I love it. I love it. I swing whatever's gonna work, because at the end of the day, it's never ever the bat's fault. It is always the operator's fault. So that's why I'm always saying, hey, I'll swing anything. A bat is a bat. If I do what I'm supposed to, technique's working the way it's supposed to, then I'm gonna do damage.
And that goes for everybody. That's not just seniors. That goes for you kids too.
Straight
I know you're
up,
not used to
straight up.
seeing our old faces, but now that we're using the group, thank God, to broadcast, get some more eyes on it.
Absolutely.
Same thing for you guys too. This is not senior exclusive content here.
Not at all.
But see,
and what I will say, let's throw one more thing in there before we get up out of here. If you have ideas for topics, you have ideas that we should address, by all means, reach out to either of us. Send us a message on Facebook, send us an email, Instagram. If you Snapchat me, it's going to sit in purgatory forever because I don't use it.
No, don't Snapchat.
But
no.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, again, we want this to be a very interactive show and event. We want to make sure that you guys are seeing that we value what you do on the fields. We value what those coaches do behind the scenes, and we want to continue to highlight that, based on your actual performances rather than our own opinions or, something that we pull out of a hat. We want you to understand that we're going to continue to try to grow this show, and we're going to continue to make sure that it's something that represents Arizona softball and Arizona senior softball specifically, as well as possible. And as we continue to add different elements, once these tournaments crack off, it's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. You're going to love what we have planned, what we have in store. It's probably going to be the type of coverage that you haven't had in ever. In spite of what anyone may think, we love the game of softball, and so we want to make sure that people are getting the due that they deserve. Nonetheless, we've talked a lot. We are, in fact, this is like the first time, 5 episodes. This is the first time that we've actually went over our allotted time that we planned.
We're we try to hit 60 minutes, or we try to get about 45 and leave ourselves.
Right.
But we just kind of went off tonight.
This is a good show. We had good. Look at all the people that were responding and adding input. They weren't just giving us, hey, dude, what's up? They were really adding information. In some cases, with stuff that may have been different than our position, and I love it. And that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, like
that's
Mike
what helps
Tree, I saw you, bro.
grow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
State government's a bitch too. I deal with them on a constant basis, but you're not wrong. There's money there. It's just a matter of convincing the people who release it that it's worthy. But you're not wrong. It's a good idea.
Yes, sir.
And we can and then we'll have a battle royal and an MMA ring on Field Ford Victory, and every challenge coach has to get in there. So we got E, D, C, conference, senior. We'll do the sumo scoots, one way or the other, but whoever wins gets the money. I love it.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, folks, hey, thanks for joining us. We always appreciate it. Like we'd said, pretty much every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we're going to see our Ugly Mugs on here, unless there's a tournament that week, because Bob does his brackets on Tuesday, and I am falling in line with the big machine. So we will also be doing the same. We actually do have guests coming, guys. I'm currently in negotiations with our number one on our list.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the name because we're still negotiating.
Man. Nope. I'm
He's driving
saying
a hard bargain though. I don't
I'm
want to.
saying it. Look, I'm saying it.
out. I'm out.
Saying it. My man, look, I want Gio on the show. Again, I that's what I said. My first guest I want to be Gio. After that, there's a number of people that I would love to have on the show. From men's, from co-ed, from women's, also obviously from senior. But right now, my number one is Gio. So if you're watching this show and you know Gio, RJ, I know you were on here a little bit earlier. Tell Gio we need him on the show so we can talk some ish. And
tell him I will search the lower depths of Arizona Applebee's and see if I can get the last bastion of frozen mozzarella sticks for him, or at least find out who the distributor was. I'll just get them straight from the distributor, but I won't tell anybody that. But yeah, so we got a couple guests. I've talked, like I said earlier, I talked to Mickey. Leroy could come on. There's a bunch of people that we're going to get. You know,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. You guys are going to really enjoy what we have planned out, even for those guests and some of the other shows that we may.
Nice. Somebody tag them.
Some next. Yeah, it's all good.
That's
so
what I
look,
like to see.
That's what I'm talking about. So, hey, I hate to say this, but we have to let you guys go. We are, again, the Glue Guys program, brought to you in part by the letters L and S. In this case, it is Louisville Slugger. It would have been L because I was gonna go in on Mark about the Eagles and L's. Anyway, but join us next week. Obviously, it will be on Tuesday next week because brackets will pop out, and we'll be talking about brackets and teams and etc. And we'll be talking about me not showing up to weigh out. Oh God! All right, that's it. Peace, y'all. Love you.
See you next. Good shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The kids we know exactly what I hoped happened. Just a couple.